Hi, if you didn't see my first video, my name is Andy Petras. I work for Dickinson College. The last video was a Google Hangout that I did and recorded through YouTube. Through that experience, though, I posted up a blog about different takeaways that I had from that experience and listed a number of things to kind of take into consideration if you wanted to do a Google Hangout yourself. But I woke up this morning and I had just this bug in my head about a video that I could do that was kind of using Google Hangouts for the specific purpose of MOOCs, some best practices, and basically how to get the most out of Google Hangouts. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of take you through some of those takeaways that I had posted on the blog. Walk through all the steps, different things that I thought about, and hopefully that'll help you if you want to do your own Google Hangouts, or maybe this will inspire some additional people to come to the following events that I'm going to do throughout at MOOC. So I hope you enjoy this, hope this is helpful, and if you don't like the planned events that I have, that you'll go out and do your own Google Hangout as well and start your own communities. So without further ado, I'm going to turn around here and move to the computer and just go through the list of things to try when you're creating your own Google Hangout. So the first thing that you want to do is, in creating the events, there's a couple of things that I mentioned on the blog that Google does that's just a little odd and doesn't really quite make sense. I imagine that they'll fix this and it won't be a problem in the future, but just going to take you through those things. So the first thing you want to do to create your event, again, because I think Google's going to fix this, so what I would do is go to the Google community that you want to host the event in first, and over on the left hand side there's an event section. So what you want to do is click that event section and it gives you the option to create event. Click create event there, and you'll notice it automatically puts in the community to the section. So put in the title of what you want to name your event. So we'll call this Google Hangouts for MOOCs. And then you want to come over to event options. And what I had done on my first time was, under Advanced, I did Google Plus Hangouts. The issue with this, though, right now is if you do a Google Plus Hangout event, when you click on the Google Plus Hangout to start your Hangout, it'll skip the place where you can live stream onto YouTube. So instead, I'm going to be using the Make This an On-Air event for two reasons. The first reason, it just makes a nice encapsulating event for the whole thing, so that you can end up using that on-air event as a back channel as you're doing the Hangout. So if you exceed the number of 10 people that want to participate, the live stream will let them view it, and the on-air event will let them add posts, pictures, whatever else that they want to add, so that they can contribute to the event. You'll notice it comes up as on air as soon as you make that selection right there. Then you want to set the date for when you want to do this. I'm going to make the date like basically right now, so that I can start the event within this tutorial. And then you can add an end time if you want, or if you don't want to. The only reason that I was putting on end time on mine is because I was kind of just letting everybody know I dedicated an hour for this, and I really wasn't going to go over that hour. But if you just wanted an open event so that people can just participate as long as they want, you don't necessarily need to have an end time. Again, down here it has your community automatically put in there. But the little bug that Google hasn't quite fixed yet is it'll only allow you to invite so many people, and our MOOC is already over that amount of people that you can invite. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and delete the community from the invite list, and then click that again and select public. You can then set your invite, and your event's been created. What you want to do then is, because it's now in your events, but you'll notice it's not in the communities event section, and this was that other bug that I was talking about, because you removed the community, which you couldn't put in because it's too many, it doesn't put it in the event section. So I imagine Google will come up with the idea is if you click create event within the community, it's going to place that event into the community area. But right now it doesn't. So instead, go to your own events, right click on that event, copy the link address, and then go into the community, and in whichever discussion area that you want to, go ahead and just make a community post telling everybody about your event. So now you've created your on-air event. Click on it, and then you can post whatever you want. People that are joining can then also post and share ideas, and you're all set to start your Hangout. So to start the Hangout, you just click Start Hangout. You notice this section comes up where you can give it a name, so we'll give it the same name. And then you can enable Hangouts on air. So basically what this will do is it'll let you stream the Google Hangout over YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube channel yet, it'll prompt you to create a YouTube channel. If you already have a YouTube channel, it's going to prompt you with new terms and conditions so that you can record longer than 15 minutes that the Google YouTube normally allows. Once you say that, you say, okay, I got it, that's what I'm going to do. And then you can start the Hangout. Now, another thing that I figured out really quick when I was doing my Hangout was that I was going to need 2 screens. And the reason you need 2 screens is because if you do any screen sharing, as soon as you do that screen sharing, you can no longer tell what's going on within the Google Hangout. And more importantly for this, if you're doing the on-air event as well, you can't see what's going on in the back channel either. So 2 screens is almost a necessity for doing this. It isn't, you don't have to use 2 screens, but it's really useful. So one of the things you might be saying to yourself is, I don't have 2 screens. Where am I, I've just got my one computer. Maybe you just have a laptop. Where am I going to get this other screen? So a nice app that you can get for your iPad or your Android, or even use this on your smartphones, especially those new ones that have the real nice big screen, is you can use this as your second display. It's called Air Display. I'll go to the website so you can see that. Avatron.com is the company that creates it, and it's really nice because it doesn't matter what you're using, they've basically got it covered. So if you're going from Mac to Android or from Windows to iPad, it doesn't matter. They've got an app for both Android and iOS, as well as Windows and Mac. And how you do this is, once you've got it installed, it just shows up, and you first just turn on Air Display, and then you go to your iPad, turn on Air Display, and then go up to the menu again, and your device should show up. Now to do this, you need to have the device and your computer on the same wireless network. If they're not on the same wireless network, it's not going to work. You click it, your screens will go blue while it sets up the new screen. And then you can see I now have a second screen to work with. And if I wanted to, I can then move this screen. Not sure where it's located yet. There we go. Onto my iPad. So now I've got 2 screens without having to actually have one that's always permanently hooked up to your computer. Okay, so let's talk about Google Hangout itself. You'll notice the Hangout's already started. Currently I'm the only person because this is just a test Hangout. But as more people show up, they'll pop up down here on the bottom of the screen. And you'll see this now, since we're doing the live stream to YouTube, you'll see this Start Broadcast button up here. So once you're ready to start broadcasting to the YouTube stream, you'll want to click that Start Broadcast, and that'll start the stream for you. And it'll give you a little warning here that's going to be publicly broadcasted. And so you just click OK. On the left-hand side, you got a bunch of different options here. The first one is just to chat, and it pulls up the group chat, so anybody that's currently in the Hangout will be able to chat. The only thing with this, in using it with a MOOC, is the rest of the people participating aren't going to be able to see that chat. They're only going to be seeing what's on the video style screen. So if you want to put things out there, it's best to actually add them to the on-air event rather than adding them in the chat section. The next thing is screen share. And then I talked a little bit about this with the two screens, but now when you click screen share, you're going to have options to either do desktop 1, desktop 2, or specific applications. You want to choose, at least for most purposes, you're going to want to choose either desktop 1 or 2, so that if you need to switch between applications, your screen doesn't just go blank. If you'll notice in the video that I did yesterday, I actually had to switch to a screen share at one point, and I had forgotten to do desktop, and when I was switching between apps, the screen would just go black. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the screen that's opposite of the Hangout. That way I can share that desktop, and I can keep seeing what's going on within the Hangout and the on-air event while I'm displaying whatever I'm displaying to the group. So you'll see right now what I've got up here is the air display screen. Another thing that I did within the event was you saw that I switched to my iPad at one point. And the application that does that is called AirServer. And basically what it does is it just puts an app on both your computer, and then it uses Apple's or iOS's AirPlay to share that screen with your computer. So there's the AirServer right there, and I have it set to launch at startup. And again, just like with AirDisplay, you have to make sure that both your devices are on the same wireless network for this to work. And then on the iPad, I'm just going to switch from the AirDisplay, and I'm going to do a double click. Click the AirPlay selection, and now my Mac is there, so I can shoot that over. And I have mirroring turned on, so it's showing what's on my screen. And now you can share whatever you're doing on your iPad as another desktop to the Google Hangout group. Some other features of Google Hangout is there's additional apps down here that you can add. And if you hit this 3-button icon down at the bottom, you can see where you can add apps. There's a whole bunch of different apps that you can add. Some are functional, some are game-like, so you can kind of do different types of games. There's quizzes, there's all kinds of stuff. Anything you just about think about, there's an app that you can use within Google Hangout. A lot of different drawing, sketching, mind mapping type tools. It's a really great thing. One of them that you'll definitely want to add, though, is called Hangout Toolbox. And the reason you want to do that, the reason that I like using that device, is it's got a feature on it called Lower Third. And what Lower Third does is it allows you to put a little indication bar underneath your screen that you're sharing, or your own image, so that everybody knows who you are and who's talking. And you just turn it on like that, and then it'll show up, and you have to make sure that you put your name in, and then it'll show up in there. So I'm going to turn off screen sharing, and there you see my name is on top of the Google Hangout. So I'm going to go ahead and end my broadcast now. And close the Hangout. And come over here to YouTube. So now I'm on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to go to Video Manage. and it's not there just yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now I can see that I have test Hangout there. And if I click edit, I can go in there, I can change the name, I can put a more full description, change my tags. For this, because it is a test one, I don't want to leave this one up as public, so I'm going to switch it to private. And that goes away. You'll notice there's another option there, it's called unlisted. So in case you want it to be basically public, so you can share it with who you want, whoever you want, but you don't want just anybody on the YouTube community stumbling upon it, you can change it so that it's just unlisted. And then whoever you share the link with is the only people that are going to be able to know that it's even there. It's public, but only people with the link will know that it's there. And then you can save changes and go back to your video manager. And another nice feature that they've added that I really like is now you can download the MP4. So there was a lot of screw ups, and I had the part where the screen went black on my last video, and so this allowed me to download the MP4, take it into iMovie, and then just fix those little pieces that I wanted to, and then re-upload the video for publication. So that's the YouTube stream. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me or participate in the other Hangouts that I have planned for the rest of the MOOC, and start your own. Whatever topics that you want to talk about, get out there, start your own Google Hangout, and participate. All right, thanks. See you later.